Hello everyone, Zach here with the Goat Guys, and welcome back to the channel. Continuing our June theme of doing off-the-wall rogue strategies, we are going to take a look at a deck that I remember seeing and I even profiled a couple years ago called Blaze Beatdown. So Blaze Beatdown is going to revolve around the recruiter known as Pyramid Turtle, and using cards like Spirit of Flames, we're going to slowly beat down our opponent using different monsters. So the deck begins with a 5-card Warrior Engine consisting of Blade Knight, Command Knight. So basically Command Knight's here for two purposes. It gets all warrior monsters you control get 400 attack. And if you control other monsters, your opponent cannot target this card for an attack, which is interesting because you can get a Command Knight lock going, even though I opted for a Solar Flare Dragon lock, which we'll talk about in a few. We have the DD Warrior Lady, the Exiled Force, and the Mystic Swordsman level 2 for those pesky flip monsters. Now we get onto the fire part of the deck, and where we get the blaze from. So we have 3 UFO Turtle. This is the Fire Recruiter. As most people know by now, we have 2 copies of the Invasion of Flames. When this card is normal summoned successfully, no trap cards can be activated. So it's pretty good. It gets around different traps, and it's a pseudo Jinzo. We have Solar Flare Dragon. Solar Flare Dragon is a 1500 attack pyro monster that when you control another pyro type monster, this card cannot be targeted for an attack, and during each of your end phases, you inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. I chose to play this over the Command Knights just because I felt Solar Flare was burn damage at the end of the turn was better for a different lock as it won the game quickly. And as we'll talk about in the other ideas I've tried, we also tried a burn version of this deck. So now we have 2 Molten Zombie. Molten Zombie is an interesting fire monster. When it's special summoned from the graveyard, you draw a card. And you might be like, well, this card sucks. You have to use your premature and call on it. Sure, you do. But at worst, it's a 1600 normal summon that can crash with breakers and tribe infecting viruses from your opponent's field if breakers use its effect and tribes there. It can also crash with Blade Knight. Overall, it's pretty good, and it lets you get advantage if wanted. We have the 3 boss of the deck, Spirit of Flames. This card cannot be normal summoned or set. You must special it by banishing a fire monster from your graveyard. He also gains 300 attack during your battle phase, so he's a 2k beat stick. And last but not least, we have Inferno. This card's not that great. He's not that good. I just play it as an extra body because at worst you can banish it to summon Spirit of the Flames, and if you're fortunate enough to destroy an opponent's monster by battle, they take 1500 damage. On the spells, we have the Trinity of Duo, Greed, Charity, and then we have the remainder of the Power 1-ofs of Heavy Storm, Premature Burial, Snatch Steal, and MST. For the spells, we have double Nobleman of Crossout, double Rhoda to get to our Warrior package, and double Smashing Ground to put pressure on our opponent and do damage with cards with our other monsters and allow us to maybe get the Solar Flare lock going. We have the Call of the Haunted, the Mirror Force, the Ring, double Sakuretsu, Torrential, and Dust Tornado. That is it for the trap lineup in the deck. It is very standard. It is just a standard beatdown lineup. We play the Dust Tornado as additional back row so we can push. Then we play the Battle Traps for if we get behind, and then we have our standard 4. Now I want to get into the other strategies I've tried with this. Also, I would like to note in the match video that you will see featuring this deck, me versus our friend Lolol from the Discord, I was playing DD Assailant and Upstart in the deck, and before you scream at me, I wanted to play this at 40, and I wasn't playing Dust Tornado or Mystic Swordsman level 2 because I'm bad. So I realized you should probably play Dust Tornado and this card, so I opted to go to 41. I opted to move this out of the main deck. I would side it if I were playing this deck in an event, though I wouldn't recommend it. So that covers these 2 cards here. I also tried Flame Ruler and Infernal Flame Emperor. Why? Because it's funny. Also, it's kind of interesting. So Flame Ruler is that fire monster that allows you to be tributed for 2 tributes. So it's like Kaiser Seahorse and double Costin. Also, he's 15 by 16, so funny enough, he's actually sometimes hard to hit over. But I was trying the Infernal Flame Emperor with Gren Maju de Iza in the deck. So Infernal Flame Emperor lets you do It lets you banish up to 5 fire monsters, and then destroy a back row equal to that, and then you could, get your banish pile big, summon a big Gren Maju. That was just, it was a fun idea. I feel like you could play like a reasoning fire deck too. I just wanted to play this style of deck because I do prefer it. Though if you guys would like to see a reasoning fire deck in the near future, we will get it out for you. Another strategy I tried was Ultimate Baseball Kid. Honestly, this card could probably still go into the deck, honestly. It gains 1,000 attack for each face-up fire monster you control, except for itself. You can send another face-up fire monster in the graveyard to inflict 500 burn. Again, that more goes into an aggressive burn strategy. And overall, this card was not very good in testing. I also tried the Hus Engine because they were fire, and they were pretty good at locking the game out. Unfortunately, I'm going to be 100% honest with you, the Horus cards are better in like a Dragon Recruiter deck, or the Reasoning Horus deck that Skilled Brown Magician profiled on his channel about a month back. And then the last strategy I tried a full thread burn strategy with this deck instead of Beatdown. It doesn't work. Just play regular burn because it's just better. Because like the principle is you play like the koalas, which I didn't picture. But you still play like these 6, and that's really it. And then you can play Golem and Thestalos as more burn cards. I wouldn't take this deck in the burn route unless you really just want to blues. Now, this is like the most successful variant I got with fire. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Thank you guys, as always, for all of your support on this channel. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you guys for being the best fans in the world. If you guys have any decks you'd like to see me profile, or Lawrence even, because Lawrence loves to play off-the-wall stuff, let me know in the comment section below. Without anything else to say, thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.